Today we are going to try to make an owl mask. So I have my masquerade mask that I bought at a hobby store, along with my hot glue gun, glue sticks, assorted feathers, some light grit sandpaper, and some craft foam. Now I'm doing this without any kind of preconceived pattern, so we will see how this goes. The masquerade mask that I'm using has a very slick finish to it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just use just a little bit of fine grit sandpaper to roughen the surface so that my glue will stick. I've cut out a small square of foam, and I've kind of made a template of what I kind of want it to look like. So basically what I'm going to be doing is recutting a kind of a teardrop shape out of this piece of foam. And I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of freehand this. And then kind of coming in more narrow toward the top to a little bit of a point, because that's where I'm going to be making the nose section. So again, we have somewhat of a teardrop, flat on one end, teardrop kind of shape. I'm going to refold the teardrop shape and make a small cut over on the side so that it will fold around the nose of the mask. And what we're going to do is just kind of fold those pieces up under the top pieces. We're going to glue this in a little bit just to make the tip of the nose turn down a little bit more instead of sticking straight out. And I think I'm actually going to make those cuts just a little bit deeper. Again, keep in mind I don't have a set pattern for this. I know I want it to look like a snowy owl. It's the costume that I'm trying to make. And that's really about all I have planned at this point. We're just, like I said, we're going to see kind of how this goes. All right. So my plan is to come back and shape this a little bit, glue this underside together, let that dry a little, and then glue it on the tip end of the mask to make the owl's beak. I have glued the bottom edge of the beak together, again with my little cuts at the top. And I'm going to fold back the main part, or the bottom of the teardrop, kind of back out of the way. And then I'm going to use the hot glue to glue, first of all, the nose part just to the tip end of the mask. I held the hot glue in place just long enough for it to kind of cool and set. And now I'm going to, see, it looks really kind of weird right now, but I'm going to go back and put some hot glue over the black part of the foams that are stuck to the mask, and then fold this top part back down, kind of lining everything up to make the nose have a little bit of a downturn. Like I said, I don't want it sticking straight out. I want it to kind of stick down a little bit to look more like a beak and not just a pointy nose. All right, so let's put some hot glue on these sections. Put that out of the way. Hot glue across the top on the other side. Right, and now fold that over. Line it up the way I want it. I'll apply some pressure and just kind of hold that for a minute to let it all kind of connect together. I'll let the glue do its work. I'm really pleased with the way that looks, particularly from a side angle. I think it looks pretty good. I'm very happy with it from the front as well. The only thing I'm not really liking at this point are these little extra little tips here, where when I held it down, it kind of stuck down a little bit further than what I had really meant for it to. But I'm just going to snip those off with the scissors and move forward. I like that. I like the way this is turning out so far. Now, again, I'm not working from a pattern. I did find a picture of a snowy owl that I'm kind of looking at, and I want to work feathers away from the eye area. Now, I could have cut these and made these round, but I actually like the shape of this mask, and it is a Halloween mask. It's, I'm not really going for authenticity here. I'm just going for aesthetic. And so I'm going to work feathers away from the eyes and kind of cover the nose a little bit. And I do want to try to get these little brown feathers coming over this way, as you can see, kind of above the owl's eyes, and do the effect down the middle, kind of across the back a little bit. So I'm going to get my feathers and just kind of arrange and start gluing them and just kind of have fun with this. I kind of played around with my feathers during this first stage, but I did decide that I wanted the 4 black feathers kind of in the front as a main focal point and kind of fanned out from just above the nose. So I kept working with the feathers, trimming them a little bit till they were shaped the way that I wanted them to, trying to keep the hot glue off of my fingers as much as I could, and then just arrange that focal point right above the nose in the center of the mask. And I still wanted to go for that snowy owl look, and so I overlaid the black feathers with some white feathers and then put some of my polka dotted feathers on top of that. Next, I added in those sections that I mentioned earlier, just right above the eyes, to kind of give the mask an appearance of having ears. I'm pretty pleased with that. I like that. I added, like I said, some color around the top, just a little bit around the sides, and just mainly filled in around the eyes and the face with the white feathers. Not going too close to the eyes because I don't want the feathers actually in my eyes. All right, let's go try it on. I really enjoyed making this mask, and now I'm ready to give out Halloween candy to all the trick-or-treaters. Have fun!